What's going on? It's Trending Story. If it's your first time here and you want to find out new facts that will definitely make you smarter and more well informed, make sure to subscribe and activate the notifications bell so you don't miss anything.
Through Facebook, it was possible to know a tender story between a leopard and the man who took care of him. The caretaker quit his job at the Penza Zoo in Russia, and Cesar, the feline in his charge, could not bear his absence. Seeing how badly he was, the young man decided to adopt him and take him home. The images have become trend in the social networks from countries like Mexico, Spain, and the United States. Alexander Volkov, he was in charge of watching over the care of the leopard. The two had developed a great friendship, so the worker could not bear to see him so bad after his resignation. A leopard left heartbroken after his former zookeeper moved away is now feline fine once more after his best friend agreed to share his home with him. According to what he told on Facebook, he was able to reach an agreement with the zoo authorities and promised to take good care of him from home. According to the images shared on social networks, the feline now looks very comfortable with its new owner. Cesar is 3 years old and acts like a domestic cat. He prowls around the house and is very comfortable every time he receives caresses, especially if it is in the belly area, as Alexander pointed out on Facebook. Alexander used to work at the zoo. His duties included looking after predators. Even then, he drew attention to a beautiful leopard named Cesar. The animal looked very sad. He was very homesick for his deceased friend, with whom they shared a cage. Then financial problems arose in the zoo, and they began to close it. Alexander decided to ransom Caesar and take him to him. Alexander Volkov, 30, moved a 3-year-old leopard named Cesar into his home after leaving his job at Penza Zoo in Penza, Central Russia. Caesar was cared for by Alexander for around a year and began to miss his best friend when he moved on from his employment. The guy did everything to create favorable conditions for the predator to live in his house. He converted one room into an aviary, but the animal turned out to be very contact. Caesar is always with his master. It seems like he thinks he's just a big cat. Under the same roof, the leopard and Alexander have been living together for over 3 years. He completely changed my life, that's for sure. What am I to him? Probably most likely a friend, but not a master. We have a complete understanding. We even get sick at the same time. Best friends. Leopard, Caesar, 3, has moved in with his former zookeeper, Alexander Volkov. The spotted animal was cared for by Alexander for around a year before he changed his job. When he began refusing all food and water, the zoo director begged his old employee to take him in. Alexander revealed that his relatives were stunned when he took him in. My family were really amazed and stunned when I took him in. They all understand, though, that I cope with him. He's not really a pet. He's more of a family member. Despite his newfound happiness, Alexander, who is a former soldier, insists that wild animals shouldn't live in captivity. He said, "He wasn't something I set out to do. I realized Caesar wouldn't survive without my help, so I had to take him in." The guy took Caesar for himself, not out of a whim. He is sure that it is dangerous to have predatory animals in the house, but this leopard needs special care because it is tame and will simply die in the wild. This is a huge responsibility. Caesar the predator. In this case, you have to think not only about him, but also about the people who live nearby. You have to be extremely careful, says Alexander. Part of the family, Alexander revealed that his relatives were stunned when he took him in. My family were really amazed and stunned when I took him in. They all understand, though, that I cope with him. He's not really a pet, he's more of a family member. Despite his newfound happiness, Alexander, who is a former soldier, insists that wild animals shouldn't live in captivity. He said, "This wasn't something I set out to do. I realized Caesar wouldn't survive without my help, so I had to take him in." Moreover, the guy advises not to have predators. He is constantly engaged in his pet, pays a lot of attention to its nutrition, health, and training. He walks a lot with Caesar, educates him, learns to understand, and is always on the alert. As a result, the leopard is calm, does not show aggression, and feels great. This is huge work. I'm happy about it, but wild animals should live in the wild. The spotted animal was cared for by Alexander for around a year before he changed his job. When he began refusing all food and water, the zoo director begged his old employee to take him in. He said, "Caesar has his own room. He'll spend half the day in my room and the other half around the house." The main difficulty in keeping such an animal at home is understanding that this animal is a savage predator. So I need to be realistic that Caesar is quite dangerous and not just a friend. I have a responsibility not just for Caesar, but also the people living nearby. After spreading the noble story, the users of the networks did not wait to show their amazement and emotion when they saw how the animal could become so attached to its keeper. The viral video where they are loving in their home, it has more than 120,000 views and hundreds of other comments. However, despite the fact that they get along very well and the leopard has had a remarkable change in their health, Alexander stresses that it is not convenient for wild animals to live in captivity and stressed the case of Caesar was an exceptional case for which he was forced to host him to help improve his health. Impossible to miss it, a young woman was on a night safari in Zambia without suspecting that he would witness how a hungry leopard approached a crocodile to steal its food from its snout. The feline took advantage of the fact the reptile was sleeping soundly, so he was able to take away its food without realizing it, which made thousands laugh on YouTube and other social networks, where the video turned trend. Did you already see it? Here we leave it for you. According to the description of the video, uploaded to YouTube by the channel Kruger Sightings, the shocking images that went around the world were recorded by Nicole Dangor, a woman who made a night safari through the facilities of the South Langwa National Park, located in Zambia. A YouTube has been shared video that has been viral and has impacted thousands of users because it reveals the moment in which a ferocious leopard entered the courtyard of a house. Go to the dog resting and throwing itself on him to attack him. The dog fights for his life and manages to chase the cat away. The unusual scene quickly became a trend in various social networks. They have been living together for 3 years, but the man believes that a predator is not a pet for everyone. He has experience in communicating with wild animals. He takes into account the peculiarities of the character of a wild cat, trains the leopard, is engaged in its development and education. The man did not start him for pleasure. He just saved an animal that could die. In his situation, there was no way out, and now it is daily and hard work. The man consciously made this choice. He understands that this is for many years, this is a constant care. Every day, you can see on YouTube and other internet platforms thousands of videos that have as protagonists animals in all kinds of situations. Some of these moments are characterized by being fun, moving, and others extremely surprising. As in this case, keep reading to find out everything. The handsome leopard delights with its beauty and docile nature. Alexander never for a moment forgets that his friend is a predator. He controls every movement of a man. He knows that the instincts of a predator cannot be eradicated. He tries not to provoke dangerous situations. Thanks to proper care and nutrition, the animal is calm and balanced. The man did a noble deed, but only the pros are better off repeating this.
Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video in social networks. We'll be right back to you as fast as we can.